But this same electricity, nothing generates more electricity than your ether. And specifically, when you lock it or braid it. And now it's just like this. When you don't have no ether on your head, you're not gonna generate no electricity. And you can't receive no cosmic downloads without no hair on your head. People that's bald head, they can't get they completely shut off from the cosmos. Hear me clearly. They completely shut off from the cosmos and a huge part of themselves. The more hair you get on your head, the closer you are to yourself. The more hair you have on your head, the closer you are to yourself. All right? The closer you are to the cosmos. All right? And I'm going to explain why, Now, the next phase up is actually having braids. Having hair on your head is one thing, but then getting braids. A person that has their hair braided will generate more electricity and can receive more downloads than a person who has hair on their head, who has ether on their head, but they can't, but it isn't braided. Why? Because when it's in a braided format, it's making a coil. Okay. And for you to understand the way coils work, you would have to understand the way the way metal, copper, and these different properties work as conductors with electricity. All right, so this is why a person with their hair braided will generate more charge than a person who has locks. Who has ether, but it's not braided. All right, because when it's not in a coil format, so it's gonna receive electricity, but it's not as strong. Think about a magnifying glass. Think about a magnifying glass. It's just like if you take a magnifying glass and you focus it in on a certain part of the grass while the sun is out, you can set the grass on fire because you're channeling all that photon energy through that glass on that one little part of grass. To set the, and that's I know a lot. That's an old science experiment you used to do as a kid. Take a magnifying glass when it's sunny outside and put it over some grass. The grass is set on fire because when the circle of the magnifying glass is what? Grabbing that much of photon energy and channeling it specifically on that grass, as opposed to when it's not a magnifying glass, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere, all that photon energy that the sun is emitting from its chromosphere, the grass not receiving it to the point where it's gonna catch fire because it's spread out. But when you take a magnifying glass, you're channeling that energy. All right, so it's like that. So when you got braids, it's just like your hair's braided a little more to channel that energy. All right, but remember it's just braided, so them braids they can come down. So that's why a person with locks, with their hair actually locked, it's the epitome of charging up electrical currents for the aura. All right, a person with their hair locked can master the elements on a level that a person without a lock never will. You know what I'm saying? A person with their hair locked can receive downloads that a person without a lock never will. This is a fact. Why? Because let's go back to the coil. When it's locked, now just like a braid. When it's locked, it becomes an antenna. But unlike a braid, it's not coming down. So all the electricity that's being created from the chi, because you got to remember, first off, what is this? This is ether. This is not hair. All right, the human being species has hair. All right, they have the same follicles the dogs have. That is hair, and there is no metaphysical properties to it. Their hair doesn't connect them to etheric realms and the astral realms and other planets and stuff like that. Their hair doesn't do that. Their hair doesn't connect them to the entire planet. Their hair doesn't do that. They have hair. You have ether if you have carbon in your skin. All right, because you are an ancient being. You are a god. So what you grow out of your scalp isn't hair. Remember, like when Yakub, aka Satan, aka Zeus, was creating the human being species, he only made them a replica of us. Okay, so by him making them a replica, he gave them ether, but it couldn't be ether like ours. So it's hair. You get it? It's just like a little wig of what we got. You know what I'm saying? That's what they got. Like a little replica toy version of what we got. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So now with us, what we grow out, we have souls, right? And your soul is real hot. It's hotter than the sun. Matter of fact, the sun is nothing but a combination of all our souls combined. Facts. The glow of the sun. Okay, so your soul is burning hot, so it emits chi, energy from its core. All right, or ether, because you are a non-ether being. So all that solar energy, which is what gives you a soul, comes from the solar system. Get it? You got a soul. That's because you are connected to the solar and you come from the solar system. Get it? You have a soul because you come from the solar system. All right? And your soul is so fucking warm, it generates all this heat. Matter of fact, your soul is what generates the body heat through you. You know how when you cold and when you could hug up with somebody and all that body, that's come from your soul. That's coming from your chi. That's your soul, your life force. That's you. That's the real you. You see what I'm saying? And that can never die. All right, that's forever. That's a cosmic entity. So it's connected like just like a baby is connected to his mom through the navel. We are connected with our home planet and the whole cosmos through the solar system, because we are solar beings. We have souls because we are electrical beings. We are full of electricity and magnetism. You right? Because the soul is magnetism. The spirit is electricity. All right? These are the name of the properties. All right? So what will come out of your scalp is something totally different, because it's coming from the soul. So it's coming from the solar system. All right? So literally, the energy from the solar system feeds through the celestials' bodies. It eats all through them fake clouds. You know they got them fake clouds. We so strong it eat all through that, and it hit our soul. And our soul emits this energy here. This is what keep us connected here, the soul. All right? So then the soul emits this energy and this frequency here. And then as this emitting, it's pumping out this light, all this energy, all this life force to keep us connected here. Because remember, that's what I'm trying to say, we are multi-dimensional beings. You are only here because of your soul. That's why when your soul stay here, even every night, your soul stay here and your spirit travels, but your soul stay here. Your soul keep you connected here. And your soul, a piece of your soul is everywhere. So it keeps them bodies connected in them other realities too. All right? But this soul that you got, all right, what it does is it emits all this ether and heat, and it's hot. It's hotter than anything you could think of. So what does heat do? Heat rises. So that ether rises, and it rises out your scalp, and it grows out the top of your head. It grows through your face. It grows into your arms, your pubic hairs, on your arms, on your legs. You know, some people are heavier than others. It's because their ether is warmer. See what I'm saying? Their ether is warmer, so they grow more hair. You know what I'm saying? Their ether is warmer. You know what I'm saying? Their ether is warmer, or it might not just be warmer sometimes. Sometimes it be just that it emits more of a higher frequency here, a higher radiant frequency here. All right? So you got to understand that this is what's growing out the top of your head. It's ether. It's ether. And it's coming from a celestial place. And your soul is your navel. It's like your umbilical cord. The same way a baby is attached to his mom's umbilical cord. That's what connects them. Your soul is your umbilical cord that keeps you connected back home and to your ancestors and to the solar system that you come from, to the cosmos that you come from. Because you're an ancient being. Okay? So as you emit all of this energy every single day, what happens? It comes out the scalp. Now, as this energy begins to come out the scalp, you've been lied. They couldn't stop. They couldn't lie. They couldn't. It was going to come out your scalp and you was going to be like, what the fuck is this? So they had to say, this is hair. They told you it was something. It's hair. It's all it is. Nothing else. It means nothing. Whole time, this connects you to the cosmos. And when you lock the hair, making it stronger than when you braided the hair, you create more of an electrical coil, which is then used to be generated as a current. So it's pushing currents. Where are your electrical currents coming from? The sun and the solar system, the cosmos. So remember I told you that you receive downloads when you're in the sun every 8 minutes? What do you think it go through? Yeah, it hit the pineal gland, but it's working through the ether. The ether. And not only is this ether used for communication to the cosmos, it helps you communicate here. Because this is all electricity. And remember, you are electricity, so the more hair you got, the more electricity you holding. So as your hair continue to do what you think is growing, that's just more and more ether. And when you don't cut it, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Especially when you are connected and tapped in and you know what it is. Now, if you don't know what it is, then you can't connect to it, so you just think you got a head full of hair. See what I'm saying? Because you are ignorant to what it really is, and its benefits, and its spiritual benefits, and its metaphysical benefits. But this ether can get, listen, it's used to protect you as well. Especially when it's locked. This is the real history of locks, because those locks can get so long and so strong they could be used the same way the Maroons would use them when they was at war with the British in Jamaica. Queen Annie. You see? Because even before they invaded us, we used our locks as to like literally